Well, very good morning, everybody. For Thursday, the 4th of August. Well, after a few days of low cloud, looks like the good soaring weather has arrived. This cold front starts to move out towards the east, though there is going to be still a fair amount of high cover, going to be sort of giving us a bit of a headache throughout today, and it's something we're going to need to watch. But high pressure starting to build in from the west, settling down the weather, and certainly over the next few days, it does start to be looking quite good. And we're starting to pick up a northerly flow across the UK now, and we can see that on the spot charts, which is showing a little bit lighter than it has been in previous days, but sort of 320, maybe 330 at sort of 15 knots or so. So lightening off, and it should continue to do that towards the weekend. Today, probably one of the stronger wind days of the good soaring pattern, but certainly we do have a good few days coming up. Satellite picture over the UK shows a fair amount of upper level cloud at the moment. Some of this may actually be contrails as well. There is some low level cumulus popping as I speak, but yeah, there is some upper level clouds which you need to be aware of. Public forecast shows 22 degrees being the top temperature today, and a northwesterly wind reaching around 10 knots. Reasonable visibility, much better than the last few days, and humidity figures dropping, which shows we should get reasonable cloud base. Top temperature GFS predicts is probably 24 degrees, and dew points sat around sort of 8 degrees, might drop a little bit, or is that 6 or 8? I can't quite tell on this definition, but we'll go for a 6 or 7. Yeah, good temperature dew point split, and the TAF from Odium is showing scattered at 3,000 feet for most of today, and scattered at 2,000 feet for some of this morning, and we can see that's very similar to what Farnborough are reporting. A few at 1,600 currently, but rising to scattered at 3,000 and getting better as the day goes on. Looks a reasonable lark hill ascent, a little bit moist through the bottom level, and you can see there's this chance for some upper level cloud towards the top layer, but yeah, better than again we've had in recent days. That's the picture outside. Thanks to David for these very nice new webcams, which are looking fantastic. But you can see there is some Q already popping. Might be a bit of sucker's Q initially, but it should continue to rise and leave us a nice morning. But that chance of increasing medium to high cover as the day goes on. Currently at Lasham, we have a temperature of nearly 18 degrees and a dew point of 12. And there is starting to be some mixing as the temperature and dew point lines start to split. And yeah, we've got a reasonable northwesterly wind at the moment. Right, so on to sky sights. And in our area, it looks sort of variable, better towards the south, along the bits where there's airspace, much better up towards the northwest. And yeah, definitely the northwest seems to be best today. Let's look at when it starts. So thermal strengths and the buoyancy shear ratio. It says it will be soarable, potentially it will be soarable at the moment, which is a bit earlier than Top Meteo predicted last night. But by 11 o'clock, starting to see better, sort of more rounded thermals. By lunchtime, continuing to get goods. This sort of high cover sometimes just reducing the amount of convection locally at times. See where it goes blue, but it remains good to the south and to the northwest throughout the day, and it should remain soarable at least till 6 o'clock, if not maybe slightly more. Hue cloud base starting off well at the moment, so yeah, at sort of 2,000 feet or so, but by 11:30, looking here at around 3,500 to 4,000 feet. Later this afternoon, sort of, yeah, 4,000 feet still. Maybe even getting to 4,500, 5,000 feet later. And at the very end of the day, around us, yeah, peaking probably around 5,500. Other areas you can see here, 6 to maybe even 6,500 feet cloud base. May even go a little bit more 1/8 Q, shallow Q in certain areas, but certainly very good all along this area up here and into Wales. Again, reasonable conditions for most of the day. And again, reasonable cloud bases across most of the Midlands. Over developments, you can see here where the colours go sort of yellowy or red, that's the chance of overdevelopment. And we do expect to see some sort of overconvection going on later, or sort of around lunchtime, where the cloud builds up a little bit too much, or the high cover sort of conflicts with it. And we can see that on here, where you can see the red is overlaid with the blue. But at this time of the year, with strong sunshine and a fairly unstable air mass, it shouldn't ruin it too much, but it will just provide that little extra challenge that you need before an easier day tomorrow. No sign of rain today, and convergences. Let's have a look. Looks like a south coast convergence there. Given a northwesterly wind, that's quite common. You can see that going right the way from just around Littlehampton all the way up to Dover. So you can skip all the traffic queues as you're in that area. Not too much elsewhere. Okay, on to top meteo, just to compare. And for a standard class glider, that is your potential flight distance, so slightly weaker than it was 24 hours ago, but still very much usable. Starting with, say, this still thinks that we would have low cloud at the moment, which is good news actually, because we don't. Lunchtime-ish, this is showing a sort of Q cloud base up to around sort of 3,500 to 4,000 feet. Very quickly, sort of at 2-3 o'clock, getting to sort of 5,000 to 5,500 feet. This says actually bluing out a bit, which is not what the other one says. And this says the south coast will get a bit weaker later on. I don't think it's going to be quite like that, but certainly up into Oxfordshire again, 2,000 to 2,200 metre cloud base. And I'll save the surprise for tomorrow, but that'll be a bit more widespread tomorrow. So yeah, potential cloud bases are nearly 7,000 feet in some regions as this very dry summer continues. And site forecast, finally, as I said, moderate thermals, peaking at Lasham at around 5,000 feet above sea level, and that northwesterly wind of a top temperature of 22 degrees. So all in all, not a completely straightforward day. There are some sort of lines of cloud which are going to come through and maybe just dampen it down a bit, but certainly better than what we've had over the last few days. And as we go into the next few days, yeah, it's going to get good. What isn't good, unfortunately, is airspace. Let's have a look at that. So first of all, I've NOTAM'd us for intense gliding activity. Parachute display this evening, it's under the Solent zone at Kingsworthy, sort of just north of Winchester. That's a parachute display at 5,300 feet from 6:45. That won't really cause you too much of a problem. Lots and lots of paragliding NOTAMs around here, 21, 23. 23, yeah, paragliders in Wiltshire flying about. Gliding competition at Dunstable, 36, 45, 42, which was up toward just north of Dunstable. Aerobatics at Sywell for most of the day, and flare firing going on in Northamptonshire. If anybody sees that, do let me know. I'm going to come on to this area in a minute, and looking further afield, 44, no, it doesn't matter too much. That's just cultural events going on. 5 and 9 down in the West Country, air display going on in Honiton, and that's about it. But unfortunately, we do have a bit more airspace. It seems since Kemble got their instrument approach procedure that things have changed a bit. They must check to see if this was actually consulted on. But you can see that there is a fairly large area of restricted area temporary for one of the Royals, who will remain nameless, but probably lives at Highgrove House, between 3:30 and 4:55. That area is quite large. Ignore this one out to the right for a minute, but this one, which basically cuts you off between Limpsfield, Aston Down and Swindon, that's down to the ground, and that really goes all the way around, cuts off around there. So if you're looking at returning today, this might not be the best area to come through. This area, which actually mostly contains the Bryce zone, is going to be sort of 4,000 feet and above. But still a bit of a pain, sort of Northfleet roundabout. So you might be able to skip around the side and come down here. But yeah, not ideal. And compounded to that, little Rissington ATZ is active, but you just need to give them a call on the radio to go in there. There is a restricted area temporary in place this morning, but it'll be done in less than an hour. So it's in place in for about 3 minutes time. But just to absolutely confirm, from 15:30 through till 4:55, this restricted area temporary is on. It is only restricted area temporary, so you are very welcome to make a call to Bryce and ask to go through it. And I strongly encourage you that you do. I appreciate that if you get told no, that's a bit of a problem because there's going to be a massive detour. But if anybody has any feedback, please do provide it to me because I'm very interested to sort of take this one forward as a discussion point. As yeah, as you can see, huge quads of airspace. We never used to have it. They're quite this big. Okay, good news is at Lasham, but don't believe we have any jet movements, although they might suddenly spring one on me. So no jet movements, and runway 27 in use. Please grid on the north side, and we will see you on the airfield shortly. Bye for now.